young man, you pay for knowledge. I was too dumb to realize that. And it really got to me. And I said, at that time, I just got out of school. I cannot even think of anyone successful people to take out to lunch, because I was hanging around with all my poor buddies. And I said, I'm going to take the speaker out to lunch, because he's the one who taught me, but my self-esteem was not high enough. I said, nah, he's not going to have, he's too busy, and I made my own excuses. I didn't have the courage to go ask him out to lunch. So I did the next best thing. The guy who introduced the speaker, because he was a student of this student, and I said, he probably will be able to relate to me more, and I think he's a student still, so I called him, and I was actually living in LA, and I was working for a company in Burbank, and the company went out of business, and they literally left me and went bankrupt. So I was doing door-to-door sales, trying to survive, and right at that time I said, something's wrong, I need to go seminar, educate myself, and this is the seminar I went to. And I called him, long story short, I got his phone number and I called him up, and I said, Jim, I was so impressed with who you are, how you introduced the speaker, and may I have the privilege of taking you out to lunch? And he was so flattered. He said, yes, I'll go out to lunch, I'll take you out, if you want to take me out to lunch, I'll go. And I said, where are you? So he said, he goes me on 2342 Snell Isle Boulevard, San Jose. I said, what? San Jose? I said, you're in LA. He goes, yeah, I flew in. I forgot people can fly into seminars. And here it is. So I said, he goes, it's ridiculous for you to go to San Jose. He says, listen, I'm just flattered that you asked me out, so don't worry about it. If you need help, just call me. I'll be happy to help you. Just the fact that I even asked. Something snapped inside of me. Remember I said, show me how bad you want it, and I'll show you a successful person. I said to myself, here's someone who's successful, and he's willing to give me his most valuable asset, which is what? Time. His time for free. And is this how bad I want it? That I'm going to let 6-7 hours of driving distance stop me? And it happened within seconds, and I just said, I am taking you out to lunch. And I just hang up. I got up at 4 a.m. I was so broke. I borrowed money for gas, but I borrowed enough, little more. On the way, I stopped at the Walgreens. I bought one of those small cassette players, the handheld cassettes. And I knew, when I sat down with him at lunch, and I said, Jim, every word that you've shared with me is so valuable. Would you mind if I record it? Because I cannot take note that fast, and I have a long drive back. I can listen to it again and again until it sinks in. If you sit down with somebody with that kind, will they share even more valuable content? Because they realize how serious you are. I sat there and I started sharing with him my dreams. This is what I want to do, and I'm like non-stop talking because I can't. These are all the things that get in the middle of it. He just literally, he stood up and he goes, stop! I look around, I said, what did I do? Did I insult? Did I say anything wrong? Everybody in the restaurant just looked at, what did this guy do? He goes, stop. I said, what? He goes, I want you to come and work for me. I said, excuse me? I said, Jim, thank you very much. I'm really flattered, but I didn't come all the way here to get a job. That's not why I'm here. But he was a better salesman than me. He sold me why I should. And that's the first time I left LA. And I moved to Santa Clara and went to work for him. And then that's where I met Tony Robbins. And look at the chain of events right from there. So every day you're going to have lunch. Why not make a commitment? That's every week, once a week, I'm going to have lunch with someone who's doing better than I am. And so very few people ask. So very few people ask. And you think that one thing, characteristics of successful people is they're givers. Especially if you ask in a sincere way that, hey, no matter what you shared resonated with me and who you are, speak so loud, I want to have the privilege of taking you out to lunch. And what is the worst thing that can happen? They can say what?
No.
They can no. And you can figure out a way. It shows how bad you want it. I've taken people, I said, did you fly in here? Because yes. Will you need a ride to the airport? I'd be happy to give you a ride. At least I'll have a few minutes with you. So figure out a way. And if you're having lunch with a billionaire, and this is the first principle is take someone out to lunch. Second principle is, write this down, become a value adder, not a taker. Become a value adder, not a taker. No matter who you are taking out to lunch with, no matter how successful they are, if you do research, these days it's so easy with Google. We didn't have Google. You figure out a way how you can add value first to that person. And if you're thinking that how can I add value to a billionaire or a multimillionaire, the more wealthy they are, I'll tell you one way you can add value is they have their favorite charity. They have their foundation. Volunteer for their foundation. Volunteer for their charity or donate to their charity, even $100. That will mean more to them than any amount of money that you can give them. So now what I did, the same thing is I went to this person, and by the way, you know, the truth is, when you have asked someone like this, that hey, may I take you out to lunch, may I have the privilege of taking you out to lunch, what is the first thing you have done? You have stroked their what?
Ego.
They've stroked their ego. They are so glad that you've asked them out, they end up paying for lunch anyway. Because they got to pay you back somehow. So I took him out to lunch, and I said, how can I add value to you? If somebody has thousands of houses, do they make money when they buy houses? Or do they make money when they will do what? Sell. So if they have lots of houses, properties, what do they need more of? Buyers. And here I have students all over the country that I'm teaching them how to find a what? Deal. And here he has thousands of deals, so I said, can we add value to this, to my students? Yes. And that's how it came. And a joint venture. And the best joint ventures are those when each party feels they got the better end of the deal. The most successful joint ventures are those where each party feels they got the better end of the deal. So if you have, somebody has lots of properties, they think, wow, I can now move all of my properties in one source. And I'm thinking, wow, I have all these properties, I can just help all of my students should they choose to. And so this is how the relationship started. And I'm going to, instead of hearing from me, I want to invite my partner to tell you that how he got and how this thing works. How did we create a private bidding platform for you guys? Because even if you could get to the source, the reason we can buy properties at 30 to 70% below market is because we're buying the entire tape. If you go there and ask, hey, I want to buy 2 properties from that list, do you think they'll talk to you? Will they even give you the discount? Not to forget about it, they won't even talk to you. So you have to buy the whole thing. So what we have done is we have created a private bidding platform where my students can bid on one house and don't have to buy the thousands of houses and get the same discount that we get or the big boys get. And this is the list. The list is not exclusive, but why it's exclusive opportunity is this particular list comes from a company called Ocwen. Ocwen is the largest servicing company. How many of you know Ocwen? Yeah, so Ocwen, O-C-W-E-N. They're the largest servicer. And so they send us, at the end of the month, thousands of properties. And it's not that they have not been able to, they're not selling it. They have been trying to sell these thousands of properties on their own. And the primary ways they sell it is through their own auction site called Hubzu. How many of you know what Hubzu is? So through Hubzu, they try to sell it. What they cannot sell, or whatever reason they have, they just carve out 1,000, 2,000 properties on the first of the month, and they send it to us. And the price that they give is the starting bid price that's on the auction Hubzu site. Usually, companies, when they put the starting bid price, that's not the value, that's not the purchase price, That's just the starting bid price. Do they make the bid high or do they make the bid low? Starting. So that people can do what? Bid it up. Go to the frenzy. So what we get is we get the starting bid price. Since that's not even the value, we buy these properties 30 to 70% below the starting bid price. Is that pretty awesome or is that pretty awesome? Yes. And you can do one instead of buying thousands or 10 or 100 to do this. And this opportunity has been created for you and through this process. And two things we do is we are also buying these properties alongside with you. So we buy also, we're bidding on some of those, you're bidding on 1, 2, 3 over here, and so we're bidding 200, 300, 400, and at the end of the month, we also get awarded 50, 100, 200 properties from this one source. So you can either buy these properties directly from at 30 to 70% below market or starting bid price, or you can also get the inventory that we already get. And how do I make money? How do we make money? Is I charge a buyer's premium of $2,500. And we're going to go through the details and we're going to shoot that. It's a flat fee. And when they send us the starting bid, the whole list with the starting bid price, I just shared with you, very transparent. There's no markup or anything, so you can see it. Because if you go look at Hubzu, you'll see the same starting bid price over there. And of course, sometimes these things are very dynamic. Sometimes you'll see a little bit more because they increase the price or they bid or they lower the bid. But this is our starting bid price, pretty much what they have over there. And so what we do is we start from there and you have the opportunity. And today, what we have is what we're also, from my experience, this is a very new thing. That means no one has ever been able to do, give students access to buying onesies and twosies from this bank REO list. People with bank REO lists have been looking for a bigger wholesaler so that they can sell a bulk to someone else. Then again, the little guys cannot benefit. So you can buy one house from this. And what we have done is created this opportunity for you. And what I found is a lot of my students are not good at winning the bids. We are better at winning the bids because we have done it. So they are asking us to bid for them, and we are winning the bids for them. And or the properties that we've already won, we call it awarded, and I send that awarded list to our students, and they look at it. This time you don't have to bid or anything. Here is what we've won, and just add the buyer's premium, and if it works for you, just do your due diligence and you can get it. So that's a lot faster. So what we have done is we brought the list of properties that we have in our inventory right now. And we have created some small pools of properties and how you can invest in them today. So I want, and beauty of this, why all of a sudden we have taken off is no matter how many times I have shared with students that live where you want to live but invest where it makes sense, they still are scared because they don't know if they're buying property in Tennessee, how are they going to manage that property? How are they going to do the work, what's needed? How are they going to find somebody to go over there, do the work and stuff? Are you with me? Yes. That has been always the concern, and then I can teach you because we're doing it. So I can teach you there's nothing that we do is a secret. So if you want to do it, that's why I'm going to ask my partners to come one by one and share with you, and so that we want to educate you, but at the same time, what we're offered is what we do for ourselves, we're offering it to you on a completely turnkey basis to you. That you can purchase the property and give it right back to us. And we will do all the work and give you your check. Everything. And the reason it's working so well is because we have eliminated you. We have really found the problem. And now, here simply, and I'm only half kidding, because I'm telling you, and here's, you can write this down, that I thought in order to become successful in real estate, you need the knowledge. And that's what I've been doing, teaching students how to do this. And I just came to the realization, what you need is two things. You need one, a proven system. And number two, you need a team of experts. to implement it. And since you're not an expert yet, and that's why you're screwing it up. And the reason it's working is not only because of the things we do, it's more importantly because of the things we do not do. Let me repeat it. The reason it's working, why we're successful in this $50,000 or less property category, and some might even call these properties toxic assets, because these are, you can buy property. There was a property last month for less than $260 for a property. $260. I think pretty much all of us can afford that one. How many can do crowdfunding for $260? How many can crowd? You can crowd. $260. The property was I went there and tax assessed was $25,700. At $260, do you need to discount it further from there to 70%? Or can you just hell, $260, take it? Greedy people don't make money here. This is your highest and best offer. So with that, what I'm going to do is, this is the process we're going to share with you today, and every one of you will have the opportunity to sit down with my partners, and while one is speaking, others are going to be sitting outside, and they're going to tap you in the back, and they're going to, one by one, you're going to have a 10-minute, 15-minute one-on-one so that you can ask them private questions and look at what they have and tell them what